This one's gonna be a little different. I had a question from somebody asking how long I've been in crypto, and um, yeah, this might be interesting to show you guys. I just kind of want to, in this video, tell you a little bit about myself, my story in crypto, where it all began, kind of my progression into different parts of crypto and into DeFi eventually. Um, yeah, I just want to share with you guys, kind of my journey through crypto and kind of what I've experienced. So yeah, let me tell you, and I don't want to say ashamed, but I mean, we all have to start somewhere. Um, my first official time actually buying crypto was back in October. Now that hasn't been very long, I know. Um, I'm pretty late into the game of crypto, but let me kind of explain what's happened and where I've kind of come from. Obviously, you can see I bought Shiba Inu, and this was actually one of my this was my first buy, and um, I had some friends that were kind of, they weren't too serious into crypto. They jumped into, the Dogecoin thing and stuff like that, but they never got past like using Coinbase or just very simple trading applications. They never got into reading charts. They never got into DeFi or anything like that. So it was basically whatever was hot at the moment. And I finally, I heard about Bitcoin, years ago, and I, of course, kicked myself for not even touching it for so long, obviously. But, I guess we all have to start somewhere. So my first purchase was actually October 4th. And you're going to say, well, there's another one down here for, 1357. Well, Coinbase has this thing where you sign up and then you can take this little, learn and earn. You take the little quizzes, and I did that as much as I possibly could because it was like a free like $3 every time you took a quiz that took like, I don't know, you could just ram through it in 30 seconds. So I did that and just kind of piled it into Shiba, and then of course, Coinbase's stupid taxes or fees. I put $20 in, and only got 1879 out of that. And then I took some more quizzes here, and then I told my wife, hey, I think this thing's gonna go up. Let's put another $50 in and see how this thing goes. And she was skeptical, and I was still just like, this thing's dumb. I don't know if it's gonna do anything. And then so we put in another $50. Just said, hey, we can lose $50. It's not a big deal. I took a couple more little quiz things, converted them all into Shiba. And then this is the day that Shiba spiked and topped out, and I sold. I still didn't know what I was doing. I didn't know how to read charts. I guess I could probably just say I got lucky. As it was going up that day, I talked to my friend he does a little bit of crypto but not much, and said, hey, when should I sell this thing? Because I don't know, I don't want to sit there and hold this thing and then let it like plummet and then hope it goes back up. And he said, if you sell when you've made a profit, you might kick yourself later, but you'll know you always made a profit. So, you could just wait it out and see how it goes today. If whenever you're comfortable making, if you make enough, then that's enough. He's like, the whole point of this is to make some money, but you're not going to make money if it all of a sudden plummets, because they go up and they just crash, right? Just as fast as they go up. So, I mean, that was good advice. He also said, don't be emotionally tied to your investment, which I already knew. And this token doesn't owe you anything. If anything, they owe you. So that was kind of my first foray into crypto, And then, I'm like, hey, you know what? That I took that 400, 400 bucks and said, I put back into my bank account the, $70 that I took out. So my wife was super happy. Didn't lose anything. My initial investment was put back in the bank account. And then I started, I had about a $350 fund to start into crypto. And, I traded a little bit stuff here and there on Coinbase, but, really fast found out how limited it was. I went to Binance and I wanted the full access because I am a U.S. citizen, but I do not live in the U.S. I went and applied for the KYC on Binance because I wanted the full access to everything and not the dumbed down U.S. version. And they rejected me because I'm like, hey, well, I'm a resident in a different country, and they said, well, that's too bad because you're still a U.S. citizen, even though I provided banking information and stuff outside of the U.S. They still said, well, you're still a U.S. citizen, so no. And that's when I went over into KuCoin and jumped in there, and I traded some coins here and there and blah blah blah. I really dug into reading charts then, looking into patterns, and started looking into different, just different things. And then I went on a whim. I'm like, you know what? I played around with, where is it? They're trading bots. I played around with those, and I looked into other platforms to do trading bots because I just wanted to. I didn't want to sit there and look at stupid tokens all day and look at charts all day. I know some people love doing that, but it just gets tiring after a while. And so I just kind of slowly, I moved that 350 from Coinbase over into KuCoin, and it just kind of slowly, I just wanted to make, a percent a day. That was my goal, make 350 a day. And I was doing that for a long time, and I just didn't like the trading bots. They were expensive. They didn't work that well. All the fees were terrible. So what I found is KuCoin used to do this, and I don't know if I'm the one that trashed it, but on the new arrivals section, they used to have a tab that was like Free Monday, and it had like 5 of the newer tokens that were free. They didn't have any transaction fee, they didn't have any trading fees, nothing. They were trade free. And I looked into it, and being a developer, I thought, if I use the API through KuCoin, can I, is it still free even though it's through the API? So I set up a little test bot using the KuCoin API. Sorry, this is a little more technical. And I found out that they were free, that they didn't have any trading fees at all, even if I used it through the API. So then I got on a kick and spent a couple weeks creating my own trading bot that actually worked really well. It was more of an experiment. I think I made a few $100 off of that thing. I've got it somewhere. I'd have to dig it up, but it basically hooked up to the KuCoin API, and every Monday I could set the tokens that were free for that week, and it would just, it would wait for it, use the RSI, which is the relative strength index, and it would wait for it to bottom out and start going back up, and then it would buy, and it would wait for that RSI to go up to a preset limit, and it would go up in increments. And if it started to fall again, it would sell. So it would okay, we made a little bit, now sell. And it would wait to fall more. And it would, as it would start to go back, I would buy again and just keep, just rinse and repeat over and over and over. There were a couple times where it failed because, things just kept bottoming out, and it bought before it was supposed to. But I think about 90% of the buys, 90% of the buys actually sold for a profit, and it was just a chintzy Python script that I wrote, and it worked really well. And then I was holding all these coins, and I wanted them to make some money. And of course, everybody knows what happened at the end of last year, at the beginning of this year. Things went down, or everything just kind of, it would plummet and come back up, and it would plummet and come back up, and it just wasn't really moving. And I'm like, I wish these things would earn for me. So then I, looked into staking, and I got into like pancake swap and liquidity pairs and things like that. And doing so, I had some stuff staked in KuCoin, which their staking is crap. It hardly pays anything. But I had two things staked. I had the amazing Cardano, which we're all still waiting to see what happens. It's kind of, the joke is it's a really good stable coin. It's not moving. And I had MATIC, and first I got into some Cardano staking and different opportunities around that. And then I had this MATIC sitting there, and I took it over and got into the amazing Stable One project. And that's where it all kind of began back in January with Stable One. That's kind of my foray into ROI. And after dealing with all these tokens and all these different things, I also did some other things. Like I got into like Tomb on Phantom Network, and then the fork of that, Bomb Money on Binance Smart Chain. I did those things, but also I was looking for a place for my MATIC to live. And then I found the ROI stuff and was like, wow, that's really, really risky. But I'll put a little bit into it and see what happens. And I mean, the ROI dApps are not that difficult really to understand, because they're basic Ponzi schemes. First in and is the first out, and once the funds are gone, it's gone. I mean, it's not rocket science. It's not like hard to understand. It's understanding how big something's going to get or might get, and when you get in versus when other people get in. So it's not really that difficult to really understand, but it carries a huge amount of risk. And that's why, like, a lot of people are like, well, what's your ratio? And I say my ratio is actually pretty good, because I don't put a lot into ROI. It should be a part of your portfolio. It should not be a big part, because it's so high risk. And it has a lot of rewards. It should not be your main driver. Well, in my opinion, this isn't financial advice, but if I am going to give advice, I would not make this your main chunk of your portfolio. There's far less risky things that are far more stable than an ROI dApp. Let me grab one that I saw earlier today. For instance, let me drag one over here so you guys can see this. Here's one that's going to be starting, and it's maybe in a little bit. Anyway, that one's probably a bad idea. Bad example. Anyway, guys, I'd have to switch my network. So let's grab one that we saw earlier today. AVAX Staker Pro. We grabbed this. We can see that these returns are super high. They're really good. And this thing started getting going when people found out that it went up, or it went up early, and people could stake. And that's the thing, is like, these things are they're all over the place. It kind of started back in January, where these things really got moving, and then they just exploded and are all over the place. Now the problem with that is it fragments a lot of investment, and a lot of these require a large amount of investment to make them viable. Um, so that's another key is finding ones that might have some traction. Um, so yeah, these things are just not, you know, they're not they're not something that you should like count on. You should, you know, the whole advice is don't invest more than you can lose. These ones even more so. They are very, very, very risky. Obviously, you can see the reward. You might get 700%. In this instance, these things are not going to happen ever. I mean, you're not going to get these. Um, that's probably a pipe dream to think you're going to get this out of this DApp. But a lot of people are piling into this thing, and when a lot of people do, that means this one it'll probably hit that one. But the growth it has right now of 652 AVAX, when it does hit that 14 days, it's gonna go out. It's gonna go out quick. So yeah, I've gotten into that. Now I've gotten into a lot of node projects. I love different node projects. I'm in Comb Financial, which is the Hives. I've started to get into their Zcomb staking. That's to help keep the price of Comb up. I've gotten into their compounders, which are liquidity pairs. Those are making almost 1% a day. I'm in power nodes. I don't have they're not huge, but it's like $5-10 a day. One of my favorites right now is polar nodes because the price is consistent. I've got two, and I'll probably get another node today on polar nodes. But yeah, like I said, I'm also still in bomb finance on Binance Smart Chain. Yeah, I'm in. Let's see, what else am I in? I'm in, of course, baked beans. I love baked beans. I'll just even show you where I'm at in baked beans. Baked beans, I'm at 209 million beans, which has been doing really well, and I just keep rebaking those things away, and taking profits here and there, but not more than once a week. That helps it be sustainable. But yeah, I don't know, guys. I'm kind of in a lot of different things, and these ROI dApps, they are fun. They're kind of sometimes nerve-wracking. Sometimes they're frustrating. These dApps, they have crappy devs or crappy teams or crappy mods or people that pull shady stuff. But when you play the game, there's a lot of that stuff that comes with it. Now, I'm not trying to make excuses for these guys because some people have done some kind of dumb things, and there's a lot of greedy people trying to take huge contract fees and things like that, and it can be frustrating sometimes. And I guess with all this, guys, I just want to let you know that this channel isn't just about ROI dApps. I really do love a good ROI dApp, one that looks sustainable, one that looks that the contract fee isn't so high. They're not just trying to make money; they're trying to create just a good ROI dApp. Yeah. So with that. Yeah, I am going to say that I am actually, my next foray into crypto is I'm creating my own dApp. I'll just announce that right here. I'll have more details in about a week or so. I'm building the contract now and doing a lot of the front end work. So hopefully in about a week I'll have something that I can show you guys. And with that, I also want to do a giveaway. I've got 100 MATIC sitting in my wallet, and what I'm asking is if you guys were given, all of a sudden 10,000 USDC or BUSD or whatever showed up in your wallet one day, and you didn't have to give it back to anybody. 10,000 stable coins were just given to you in your wallet one day. It just showed up. What would you do with it? And it doesn't even have to be crypto related. Comment below. Tell me what you would do with it. Would you pay off debt? Would you pay for an education? Would you buy nodes? What nodes would you buy? What would you do with it? What drives you to why are you in crypto? I mean, yes, it's all about money, but money can be made a lot of places. But what would you do with that? What would you do with that investment? Anyway, yeah, in the next couple days, I will pick a random winner and they will get 100 MATIC. Yeah, so this one isn't, about any specific dApp. I'm going to leave a couple links to different projects that I'm in, a couple nodes, and we'll throw baked beans in there because it's awesome. Yeah, I'll just throw some links in some of the dApps and applications that I'm in, and node projects and things like that. Anyway, guys, I just wanted to give you guys an update of who I am, what I've done in crypto. I've kind of been around the block. I spent a lot of time learning and studying and growing in crypto, and hopefully it just continues to keep going up. So yeah, guys, don't make fun of me too much about this. Yeah, I'm definitely not a Shiba to the moon guy, but I did that was my first buy. But because of all this, guys, I've also gotten, oh yeah, I forgot, I'm also in yield nodes. I've been in that for a few months. Yeah, just a lot of different places. From that, what was it, $70 here, I think I've grown my profits to about 10,000 USD. So it's done really well, but it's been a battle. It's been fighting for every profit, for every gain. And now I've got some reason, I'm making this much every day just in nodes coming in. So anyway, guys, that's just kind of my story. Leave your comment, tell me what you would do with if that stable coin just showed up in your wallet one day. What would you do with it? And I will pick a random winner, and I'll make it as part of one of my videos so you guys can see the randomizer that just picks the person. I don't like pick up friend or something from the comments. It's all done by an online app that does it, that just randomly picks somebody. So anyway, guys, again, this is financial advice. Whatever advice I did give, I am not telling you what you should do with your crypto, with your investments. I'm just trying to be real with you guys, let you know who I am, what I've done in crypto, and just give you a little bit of visibility into me. Anyway, guys, like the video if you like it, subscribe if you want to subscribe, and we'll catch you on the next one.